السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته يا طلاب العلم كيف حالكم بارك الله فيكم. I hope that you are all well and that you are all doing good inshallah ta'ala. So today we will be going through the episode in the introduction of studying in AMAU, the overview of the Student of Knowledge program. Alhamdulillah. So the Sheikh Ustadh Muhammad Tim Humble Hafidhahullah Wara'a, he basically just goes through a outline of what the madrasa will go through, who is it for, how to traverse it, things like this, in a very basic level. Yeah. And also this video was made at the beginning of the madrasa a few years ago at the time of this recording. So I will also give my opinion and also updates on things that happened that the Sheikh maybe was not aware of at that time. So how is this the Student Knowledge Program different? So generally, and how should we approach it when we look at this? The Student of Knowledge Program is a lifetime journey in ilm. It's and their aspiration, if you look at the perspectives, the prospectus, the syllabus, it goes from the beginning of each science all the way until the most advanced books in the topics, right? So like in hadith, you start with like Arba'in Nawawiyya, and then you finish on like Sahih Bukhari, basically, and then everything in between. So it's something very, very serious, and it's something a person, if they want to take it as like a main course of ilm, it is very, very good. I personally, even if I were to seek knowledge in person, I would not stop the madrasa, because the fawaid and the hikam and the hikmah that comes from these teachers and what they've been through and the principles on how they lay down foundations, subhanallah, mufida jiddan, very, very beneficial. So it's something very serious. So if you want to do something where the program itself is very serious, very grounded, and will give you a perspective of every science of the Sharia, alhamdulillah, this is a very good course. In terms of how we'll be taught in terms of the language, Arabic is no doubt a very important thing. So the statements, the ayat, and the ahadith will be brought in their full Arabic form, and generally they will be translated. I say generally because normally, alhamdulillah, Ustad Muhammad Tim Humble is very good at translating. Very good at remembering to translate. But alhamdulillah, also our Sheikh Ustad Abdurrahman Hassan, Hafidhahullah Wara'a, he many times does not translate. Many times he does not translate. And this is an advice I have to myself and to others, is not get upset or frustrated with this, but rather take it shay'an fa shay'an, slowly. And when the Sheikh brings Arabic, if you just translate it directly after, you maybe don't even care about the Arabic, you only go to the English. So sometimes when the Arabic is brought, try to learn from the Arabic, because this will slowly nurture you and develop you upon the Arabic language. So Arabic is very, very important, but generally they will be translated. But my advice is that if they aren't translated, do not get upset, do not get frustrated. Just go from what you can understand. If you can't understand it, then try your best, inshallah ta'ala. When you increase your level in Arabic, you will recognize the benefit even in durus that you have actually passed, in classes that you have passed. Now, also something very, very important is adab and akhlaq in this course. The teachers, they emphasize patience in seeking knowledge. Amal, action. They don't just bring any principles and ahadith and ayat and verses and things like this. They also very, very, alhamdulillah, and I'm very glad and thankful that they do this, is that they spend a lot of time on telling the students that It's not just having a bunch of riwayat. It's not just having the Quran memorized in your chest. It's about acting upon it. And alhamdulillah, they put a very strong effort in this. So also my advice to myself and to others as well is to take this example that they set out and be patient with their ilm, be consistent upon it, and also act upon it. Act upon it and try to be like a student of knowledge, and try to aspire to be like an alim or a person of knowledge, inshallah ta'ala. Very important. Who is the program for? No doubt anybody who wants to learn. How long is it? There is no time limit. There is no time limit, and alhamdulillah, this is also a good thing, because it also brings the approach of ilm. Ilm is not something you begin and then you finish, and it's something that you are patient upon, and you take it for as long as you can. So there's no time limit on this. They have a certain goal for a certain amount of books, but no doubt you're just take it slowly and slowly. There's no time limit on this course at all. You need time. How much time do you have to put into? But it's flexible. You can put in as much time as you need to, however much time you have, and essentially the course, how it is, it's just videos. And you have to be dedicated by yourself to take notes on the videos and to learn it yourself. Take notes, and then take an exam. Generally, this is the entire course, and there are some Q&A sessions, right? But generally, it is up to you to be responsible enough to take the notes, to learn, to look into the issues, to look into the ahadith and ayat. So it is really up to you. So you can scale it up, put many hours into it. You can put less hours into it, but no doubt it is very important that you need to take responsibility for your time. So how actually is it structured? So first, before everything, there is an introduction, which is what we're doing right now. This is the first episode of the introduction to studying. You don't get to study yet. You're not allowed to study, go into Aqidah, Fiqh, Ulum al-Quran, Hadith. You can't go into there until you finish the introduction to studying. And it's not allowed. The teachers say you cannot go beyond this. And many students, they skip it. They say it's not really needed. You absolutely 100% need to do this. To learn how to study, the methodology of seeking knowledge, the akhlaq and adab, the etiquettes you need to adorn yourself before you go forward. لأن it's indicative, but we'll keep that there. We need to learn how to seek knowledge, to be steadfast upon it, and for many other reasons. And also, some people, when they skip this, they skip the introduction, it's indicative, akhi or ukhti, that you are impatient upon the ilm. You are not going to be patient. So if you're here skipping through all these things, then it's likely you're not going to benefit at all. Nah? So no doubt you need to take this introduction very seriously. You need to learn the etiquettes and the basic adab, basic akhlaq. Take them, internalize them, think about them, act upon them before you go on to the actual information and the ma'lumat. So this is the first thing. There's an introduction. You need to finish that before you go into the other pathways. After that, there are how many? 7 pathways. There's aqidah. Just making it simple. Aqidah. There's fiqh. There's ulum al-Quran, the sciences of Quran, the sciences of ahadith, seerah and tarikh, seerah and history, language and logic, which is like principles of the language, grammar and everything. And then there's a whole section dedicated towards etiquette and personal development. So generally, and you can look into the you need to go to the video and see what the Sheikh describes all of these. But there are these 7 pathways, and generally you are required to go through the Aqidah first. Aqidah, the app does not, or the website does not restrict you. You can click on the other videos, but generally you need to go through Aqidah first, and then if you're able to take anything else, then you take fiqh. But besides that, you can take what you want, based on whatever time you have. And my advice is that you focus on Aqidah first, no doubt. Now, in each of these 7 pathways, they're divided into 4 levels, 4 basic levels. There's the introduction. The introduction, where the Sheikh basically preps you for what this field is. What are the topics we're gonna study? Who are the big ulama in this field? What are the principles of this field? What are the issues in this field that people fall into? Different sorts of things. And the introduction itself, if you look at the website, it's very, very long. It's not just like, 1 episode or 2 episodes. No, the sheikh, the teachers, they go very, very detailed. Very detailed. SubhanAllah, the sheikh, Ustad Abdul Rahman, it's been maybe multiple years, he's still in Qawa'id al-Fiqhiyya, introduction to Qawa'id al-Fiqhiyya in the fiqh pathway. And so it does take time, but SubhanAllah, there's so much ilm in these introductions. It needs to be taken. Many people, they just want to jump into the books. Do not do that. Take the advice of your teachers, do the introductions, and sit on them. Very likely the people who want to jump towards these texts don't have any of the knowledge in these introductions. Very, very unlikely, because it's extremely detailed, hours, hundreds of hours, really. So no doubt, take the introduction. Then after that, there's the beginners, where you take the basic, the small texts, and then intermediate, you take the larger ones, and then the advanced, where it's more of a higher level. The advanced, you aren't able to even start one advanced level until you finish intermediate from all the other ones. So this is a basic one. Then the Shaykh, he speaks about specialization, but specialization, I mean, we won't talk too much about this. Memorization, no doubt you should be memorizing the Quran. Take a piece of the Quran every single day and memorize it from now until the end. They want you to, by the end of beginner, they want you to finish 5 ajza, which is very, very easy. The beginner pathway is extremely long. The introduction and then the beginner, you should be fine if you take a little piece of the Quran every day. Memorization for texts, like mutun and stuff like that. The teachers, they will suggest you books that at the end of every pathway, besides introduction, at the end of every pathway, you memorize something. And they give you easier ones and harder ones depending on your level, but they also do encourage you to memorize. Also, one note on memorization, you need to memorize everything. You need to memorize every single thing. Generally, the ayat you have to memorize. The ahadith that come, you have to memorize. No doubt, at the very, very least. And aqwal al-ulama, generally you need to. And also, no doubt, if it's a sahabi or if it's a tabi'i. In Arabic, you need to memorize it. This is also, we can speak about that at a later time, but the Sheikh doesn't actually mention that here. Now, also, there's a separate Arabic language. It's called Arabic with AMAU. It's not in this any course. It's a separate course basically, and it teaches you how to speak. The Arabic course, or the language course rather, and this one, it's more about grammar, morphology, the principles, eloquency, things like this. It's not really teaching you vocabulary words or how to speak or how to form sentences. Not really. There's a separate course for that, which I encourage you to take. Is very beautiful. There are also different programs. There's a smaller, easier one, I'd say. It's called the it's called the Seeker of Knowledge program. I haven't looked too much in it, but basically it just goes in a bit less detail and rigor. I'd say that it goes into less rigor. Um, but I assume it's the same thing, and it's taught by slightly different teachers. And also there are AMAU classics. Alhamdulillah, I advise people to benefit from these AMAU classics, at least just for watching them. Studying them, you can also do it. I would not advise you to. I would advise you to stick to the Student of Knowledge program. But AMAU Classics, put it on. It gives you a background. It gives you information. It supports your beliefs and your understanding of the fields. And the teachers, they go through many different books. They go through adab books. They go through poetry in the Arabic language, usul al-fiqh, aqidah books, many aqidah books actually. Sifl Salah, Nabi, how to pray, alayhi salatu wassalam, and different things. So these things you can benefit on the side. Instead of going to YouTube or one of these evil websites to watch bad things, put on one of these AMAU classics where a sheikh goes through a book and it's something beneficial and beautiful you can take. Now, how much time should you take? The sheikh basically says that 4 to 5 hours per video, I believe. With revising and memorizing and understanding and everything. So maybe 4 to 5 hours. And then when you apply this to 7 pathways, that's 5 times 7, 35 hours per week. Now, if you want to take everything like that, 35 hours, which is basically full-time job, if you're taking everything, and if you're taking 5 hours per video. But do not think too much, I need to finish this video in this amount of time. It should not be thought about like that. Rather, you should think, however much time I have, I dedicate to it. That's it. And then continue that every single day. And no doubt, it's up to you. The sheikh, the teachers, they're not there to hold your hand, or they're not there to test you. It's there for yourself to use the resources and to develop yourself based on what the teachers are teaching. Right? So alhamdulillah, this is basically what the sheikh went through. A few things that you should understand is that it is self-paced. You have to take it basically the videos by yourself. You have to be very, very patient. Be very patient, and my advice is to emphasize your adab and your manners and your taqwa over just finishing a video. Because haqiqatan, really, there's no rush. There's no rush for you. So take it slowly, asta, then you'll get through it, inshallah ta'ala. And it's something very serious and very heavy also. It's not something that like, oh, okay, I'm going to finish this one book in a few months, or it's going to take me this year and I get a certificate. La. It's not like that. The objective of this is for ilm. It's not for a shahada, it's not for a certification or for a job it's not for any of these things. It's for the ilm, inshallah ta'ala, and they cover all of the major sciences of the Sharia. So inshallah ta'ala, take it seriously. And I believe that is it. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.